cream historic site, and the creamery that used to be next door to it that supplied some of the cream and so forth that was used in making the ice cream.
Go to Hunter's Dairy in High Point every Friday and get cream to make next week's ice cream. Store it in that bag. Now when we're ready to make mixes, this is a 500-gallon pasteurizer. So we're going to pump the cream in with water, dry milk, whey, all the ingredients. Put them in here. We cook it at 160 degrees for 30 minutes. Once it's cooked that long, it's pumped out over here. It's a high pressure pump, high speed, high pressure pump. It's called an homogenizer. I know you've heard of that term. It breaks all the little particles down to 20,000 units. Real time. Let's do it. It's still 160 degrees here. Just pumped over here to our plate cooler. Some up this afternoon to make mixes in the morning. That will get a different angle.
Yeah.
Plate cooler, the mix goes through one plate while cold water's going down the other side. And it chills it in just a few seconds. It chills it from 160 degrees down to about 38 or 40 degrees. From there, it's pumped in one of these 3 storage bags. This mix made yesterday is what we're running today.
How long does it stay in here? How long does it stay in here?
Until we use it.
Okay.
It could be as long as Friday. We make mixes on Mondays and Wednesdays during the summer, and we use it as we need it. But it's all run out by Friday because they don't work weekends.
Okay. This has no flavor or anything like that?
Now, this is just a plain vanilla mix.
Okay.
We make a vanilla mix, we make a chocolate mix, we make a big scoop, which is low fat, and we make a sherbet mix. There's a 4 different kinds of mixes in there. We make them just plain mix. When we're ready to make ice cream, I'll talk over here. It's loud over there. We pump the mix in these small 50-gallon zero, you see the nutty cone racks? When they're ready to dip those, they'll bring them out a rack at a time and dip them. I'll show you the other rooms over there. This is our oldest room. It's been here since 46. We're ready to dip the nutty cones and bring the racks out. The table they're using here goes here. They'll put chocolate in one pan and peanuts in the other. And they'll bring a rack out, they'll dip the rack in the chocolate, put it over the peanuts and squish it real good. And then drop them loose here. These machines hold bags. They're blowing them open and they put the nutties in the bag and lock them. Sell them into the room to store them. We're still the only people that do nutties by hand. This is our cup machine. We build 3, 6, 3 ounce, 6 ounce, and 12 ounce cups. Yes, we'll make the 12 ounce. Now this popsicle equipment was installed in 1954. We're still using it. It's 52 years old.
Have trouble getting parts for it?
Most of the standard gears and stuff that we can buy locally.
Okay.
We have machinists that can fabricate anything we need. So. Okay. Here's a stick holder. It holds 24 sticks. Goes on that machine there. Put it against there. Hit the button. And 24 sticks pop out through here. Lock them down. Sets it up here on the side for the guy that's filling. Now this is our ice cream filler for like D-bars, classic, anything that's got ice cream in it. The ice cream runs through the freezer. It's piped over here into these hoppers. Here's the ice cream bar mold. Put it on there, hit the button and it fills them with ice cream. Then takes it, puts it in this brine solution. It'd be 30 below zero in water. It's got calcium chloride in it, so it's not free. Put that in there. You slide across, puts the stick holders in them, pushes them out. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the other end. Now that's how they're frozen solid. Once you step in, this is real slick.
Okay.
This is an old building. Let's try to keep it up. And once it comes to the end, it comes up here. The guy standing here, there's boiling water in this tank here. Pulls it up. Usually this thing's floating, it's got water. Pushes it down, holds it for a couple seconds, pulls it out. The stick holder comes out, the popsicle's hanging from it. And he sets it up here. He sends a mold back down the belt to be refilled. Now if we're making fudge bars or jungle juice, something that didn't have to go through the freezer, we use this filler right here. The big tank right there. As it goes under on the belt, it'll fill the liquid in here. And then the guy at the end, he just evens it out, sticks it in, and goes it in. Okay, now once it's on, the chain holds it down. These compartments are refrigerated. They're cooled anhydrous ammonia. They get maybe a little soft on the outside when you defrost this, but they refreeze in here. Because here, this is a chocolate dip tank. We make chocolate covered bars. Any other thing that don't have a coating on it, we still put water in here so it gives a little ice coating and protects the popsicle. This. See how it's different works? This tank's full of chocolate, warm chocolate. 5-gallon pails full of the truck. When it drips a little bit, it goes through another tunnel that refreezes. This refrozen coating. Then it comes out here. It's still 24 popsicles. The guy hits the switch. It's laid up there right now. And puts, when they come flowing down, puts them on this little belt here. I'm still got wrapping paper, rolls of wrap. Up here. It goes down through here. When the popsicles are going through it, pulls down and covers them. Folds it underneath and seals on the bottom. When it comes through here, these grippers are heated and they seal on the ends and cut the wrap. When it comes out here, individual popsicles, we've got 3 ladies sitting here boxing them. Somebody seals them up and sends them into the room.
How often do you do the popsicles with it?
Once a week, roughly. But a lot of times we go 2 or 3 weeks without doing anything. We don't sell as many popsicles now as we used to. We're making arm and nail bars this Thursday morning. That's what we're running like from 7 to noon. Most items, about 5 hours worth. Okay. This is just a storage area. Go in here. I don't know if it lens will freeze up or
Well, we'll find out.
get a little foggy when you come back in.
We'll see what
Don't
happens.
step in here a minute. This room, try to keep it 20 below zero. Hot days like today, it's hard to do.
Well, I'll tell you, you can keep you cool in here.
Yeah. See the half gallons, boxes of sandwiches, popsicles, bulk cans. These are fudge bars here, D bars there. And there's a belt coming in from where they're making it, sending it in here. Belt gets full, and a guy will come in here and send it down this belt and put it on the shelf.
This guy who came out with the heavy coat on.
Yeah.
Still can?
We still have cream. Yeah. We have a tanker that goes to high form. Sometimes I get too much. Should be clean. It's hot day.
Yes.
Now, is this part of the original building?
From that wall over there to the corner was the Mooresville Creamery. Started in 1914. Mr. John Mack, I believe, up on Main Street, used to make ice cream on weekends. Some of the cream left over, and one of the basements of one of the stores up here. And a group of businessmen figured they had a bunch of excess cream, and they were just giving it to the farmers or selling them at a cheap price to feed the hogs and whatnot. So a bunch of businessmen got together and decided to form an ice cream company in 1924. So they started in February that year, and they went through the summer but didn't do very well. So towards the end of the summer, they were looking for somebody to run it, and actually they were thinking about folding. But Mr. Robert Edmiston knew a man in Statesville that was manager of a dairy up there. And he said, well, let's ask him, see if he'll come down here and run it. And it was my grandfather. They went up there and offered him the job. He thought about it a little bit, said no, he was happy where he was as a manager up there. A few nights later, he got a phone call about 2 o'clock in the morning. There was a truck driver with a load of sugar and wanted to know where he wanted it delivered. And my grandfather said, I don't have any sugar on order. So he turned around and calls the owner of the company, and the owner said, oh, don't you worry about it, I'll take care of it. So my granddad next day went into work, cornered him, said, what is this? And found out he was selling it to bootleggers, making money on the side. And my grandfather didn't want anything to do with that, because he'd be implicated if he got caught, you know. So he said, he called Mr. Evans and said, that job offer's still open? He said, yes. So that's how he ended up here in the fall of 1924. And he started running it. And gradually they bought out all the shareholders, most of them by the end of the war. There were a few that hung on through the 70s. We got just a few shares we finally bought. So it's totally controlled by our family now.
When did you start working here?
Well, I worked here in the high school and during summers in high school and in college. I was in the military for 20 years, retired from the Air Force. I came back in '91, and Dad retired about 2 years later, and I took over the production side.
Mm-hmm.
Were you one of the most popular kids in school because your dad had an ice cream shop?
Everybody thought we were rich, but we weren't that rich. We wasn't that big a company. But yeah, everybody kind of liked me a little bit just because of that. So.
Now, I'm noticing on the building, were there windows here at one point and they've been bricked up?
This was the old
The
creamery.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess we bought the building in 1954. That's when we built the popsicle room. We built this Harding room in '54, and that's when the creamery moved out to what is now Dyson Square. And then later, Rowan Dairy bought them out. And then Rowan Dairy's when I was a teenager. And gradually, they just left town. I guess he got bought out with a bigger dairy. But yeah, these windows, I guess, were cemented up sometime along here. This used to be a drive-through, and all the farmers, they'd bring the milk, but they would rent space upstairs, and you can still see paint marks on the floor. They would rent space to store their crops upstairs, and they'd come in here, and that's how they get it up through here. At those stairs right there, I guess.
What are some of the changes from how the ice cream was made in the beginning to how you make it now? Besides, of course, the computer.
Well, we don't do anything. We're not computerized.
You're not okay.
We still make it the same way they did in the '50s. We haven't changed much. We just figured on paper, pencil the mixes. Most times we made so many mixes, we got this little chart we go by. Occasionally we'll have to figure out something. We get a really high test cream or something. We'll have to do a little scribbling.
Do you come up with different ice cream mixes every now and again, or is it pretty much the same flavors?
I try to pick up 1 or 2 new flavors a year and see if they catch on. Like birthday cake, we came up about 3 years ago, and it is still going like gangbusters. About a year before that, we had Fire and Ice, which is a blue cool mint ice cream with a red cinnamon ripple through it, and I thought it was great. And the first summer, it sold like wildfire. But then the next summer, we had to throw a bunch of it away. It just started getting old. Nobody'd buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, birthday cake, 3 or 4 years, it's still going strong as ever. It's so good, I don't think it'll drop away. But you know, you got your old standbys: vanilla, chocolate, pecan, strawberry, black cherry. We've had those since I was a kid, and they still, all 5 of them, go strong.
Do any of your children want to come into the business? Perhaps when you retire, or
it's probably not going to last that long. It's hard fighting these big companies. You know, we're doing a good job, but it's awfully hard. The one here that keeps going in here, he's my stepson. The one filling the bulk cans over here is my son. Of course, he'll be a senior in high school this year. So he's working there in summer. This is my stepson. He came from the Philippines about 5 years ago, and he started working here about 3 months later, and he's been a real good employee. He's the one that takes the tank and goes get the cream every Friday.
oh,
So he takes a lot of responsibility. That's pretty much it. I don't know how much longer we'll be here.
Now, who are your biggest customers?
Well, in the last several years, last 10 or 12 years, we've picked up a lot of the peach stands down in South Carolina. We've got about 4 or 5 of those, and they sell a lot of ice cream. They dip a lot. We'll send them some weeks 100 and 120 cans, and they dip to customers. Peachtree down in Filbert, I believe, McLeod Farms, Dillard Farms. There's 2 or 3 others. We'll ship a bunch of bulk down to them on our trucks.
You still do a lot of work with the schools?
Not so much, especially this new nutritional things coming up. They want the real low-fat ice cream, and you just can't make good low-fat ice cream. To be good ice cream, it's got to have butterfat in it. And you know, they're trying to train the kids to eat right, and I agree with that. But still, making bad ice cream isn't going to solve the problem. You know?
I understand.
So it's just getting harder and harder.
Anything else?
well, we were here today, July 18th, at the DeLuxe Ice Cream Shop with Mr. Buddy Millsaps, and we want to thank you so much for letting us come in. And if I may add a personal note, please don't get rid of chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
That's a big seller too. It costs